Beyond Knowing, Exploring the Depths of Wisdom, Spirituality, and Transcendence in Epistemology. This course delves into the intricate landscape of epistemology, extending beyond traditional boundaries to explore the profound interconnections between knowledge, wisdom, spirituality, and transcendence. Designed for both students and educators, it aims to foster a holistic understanding of how we come to know what we know and the deeper significance of this knowledge in our lives. Through a series of 6 meticulously crafted modules, participants will journey from the foundational theories of knowledge and truth to the transformative realms of spiritual understanding and transcendent wisdom. Each module combines theoretical exploration with practical applications, reflective practices, and interactive learning experiences, encouraging a comprehensive engagement with the material. Given the depth and breadth of the request, focusing on creating a comprehensive and educational script for a single module will allow for the detailed explanation and practical guidance you're seeking. Let's start with Module 1, Introduction to Epistemology. This module sets the foundation for understanding epistemology's role and significance in both philosophical inquiry and practical application. We'll ensure every concept is clearly defined and provide guidance on how to engage with the material effectively. Module 1, Introduction to Epistemology. Overview of epistemology. Epistemology is the branch of philosophy that studies the nature, origin, and limits of human knowledge. It addresses fundamental questions such as what is knowledge? How is knowledge acquired? And what do people know? To understand and engage, begin by reflecting on personal beliefs and consider what it means to know something. Engage with various sources of information, question assumptions, and practice distinguishing between opinion, belief, and knowledge. Key questions and issues. Central questions of epistemology include: can we know anything at all? How do we know what we know? And what is the difference between justifiably believing something and actually knowing it? Exploring these questions, encourage students to formulate their own examples of knowledge claims and analyze them in light of these questions. Use group discussions to explore different viewpoints. Historical perspectives. From Plato to present, trace how different philosophers have approached questions of knowledge. Plato defined knowledge as justified true belief, a definition that has evolved but remains central. Engaging with history, assign readings from key philosophical texts, for example, Plato's Theaetetus, Descartes' Meditations, and use them as a basis for discussion. Highlight how these historical perspectives influence contemporary understanding of knowledge. Activities and assignments. Personal knowledge inventory. Have students list things they know and categorize them, for example, personal experiences, learned facts. Discuss the basis of their certainty in these knowledge claims. Philosophical diary. Encourage keeping a diary where students reflect on daily experiences and their epistemological dimensions. What did they learn, and how do they know it? Practical application. Case studies. Use real-world examples, for example, scientific discoveries, historical events, to discuss the application of epistemological principles. How was knowledge acquired and verified in these cases? Critical thinking exercises. Develop exercises that challenge students to apply epistemological concepts to analyze and critique information sources, such as news articles, scientific reports, and social media. Assessment. Reflective essays. Ask students to write essays reflecting on what epistemology has taught them about how they acquire and validate knowledge. Group presentations. Have groups present on different epistemological theories, demonstrating understanding through examples and critical analysis. Tips for teachers. Foster an environment of inquiry, encourage questions and cultivate a classroom atmosphere where uncertainty and exploration are valued. Use diverse teaching methods, incorporate lectures, discussions, group work, and individual reflection to cater to different learning styles. Assessment for learning. Use assessments not just to evaluate but to further learning, providing feedback that helps students deepen their understanding. This module aims to not only introduce students to the field of epistemology but also to engage them actively in the process of philosophical inquiry. Through a blend of historical perspective, conceptual analysis, and practical application, students will begin to appreciate the complexity and relevance of epistemology to their own lives and broader societal issues. Continuing from where we left off, let's move on to further develop the epistemological journey for students and teachers, focusing on deepening the understanding and application of epistemological concepts through interactive and reflective learning strategies. Deepening understanding. Exploring theories of truth. Correspondence theory, the belief that truth corresponds to reality. For example, the statement "the Earth orbits the Sun" is true because it accurately describes the physical reality. Coherence theory suggests that truth is determined by the coherence of a belief system, where beliefs are interconnected and support each other. Pragmatic theory asserts that truth is what works or what is practical. A belief is true if it has practical effects and solves problems. Application. Have students debate the merits and drawbacks of each theory using contemporary examples, such as scientific theories or news reports. Belief, justification, and truth. Justified true belief. Introduce the concept that knowledge is often defined as justified true belief, where a person knows something if they believe it, it is true, and they are justified in believing it. Gettier problems. Discuss scenarios where someone has a justified true belief but doesn't seem to have knowledge, challenging the simplicity of the definition. Practical exercise. Create scenarios or use historical cases, for example, scientific discoveries, for students to analyze whether certain beliefs qualify as knowledge under the justified true belief model and the Gettier problems. Engaging activities. Philosophical dialogues. Activity. Form groups where students take on the roles of historical philosophers, for example, Plato, Aristotle, Descartes, and engage in a dialogue based on their epistemological views. Objective. This helps students understand diverse perspectives and the evolution of epistemological thought. Analyzing knowledge claims. Activity. Present students with various knowledge claims from different fields, science, history, art, and ask them to assess the claims based on epistemological principles. Objective. Encourage critical thinking and the ability to apply epistemological criteria to a wide range of disciplines. Integration with technology. Digital resources. Utilize online platforms and databases for students to research epistemological theories and philosophers. This fosters independent learning and digital literacy. Interactive learning tools. Implement apps or software that simulate philosophical debates or allow for the creation of interactive presentations on epistemological concepts. Assessment and feedback. Peer review. Incorporate a system where students provide feedback on each other's essays and presentations. This promotes engagement and a deeper understanding of the material. Continuous feedback. Offer regular, constructive feedback on students' reflections and philosophical diaries, guiding their inquiry and helping refine their thinking. Concluding the module. Reflection session. End the module with a class discussion on how the study of epistemology has impacted their approach to knowledge and belief. Encourage sharing insights and personal growth experiences. Connecting to future modules, briefly introduce how the concepts and questions explored in this module will be expanded upon in subsequent modules, such as the examination of skepticism, the analysis of knowledge types, and the application of epistemology in fields like education and science. This approach to teaching Module 1, Introduction to Epistemology, is designed to not only provide students with a solid foundation in epistemological concepts but also to actively engage them in the philosophical inquiry process. By combining theoretical exploration with practical application and reflection, the module aims to foster a deep, lasting understanding of the nature and importance of knowledge. As we transition from the foundational concepts introduced in Module 1, the continuation and expansion of our epistemological exploration take a more applied and interactive form. This progression ensures that students not only grasp theoretical concepts but also learn to apply these ideas critically and reflectively in various contexts. Expanding perspectives. Integrating epistemology with other disciplines. Interdisciplinary studies introduce case studies from science, history, and art to explore how epistemological concepts apply across disciplines. Discuss how different fields approach the validation of knowledge, the role of evidence, and the impact of societal beliefs on what is considered true. Activity. Assign group projects where students select a discipline and investigate a controversial topic within that field through an epistemological lens. Presentations should focus on the sources of knowledge used, the process of validation, and the presence of any epistemological challenges. Application in everyday life. Critical media literacy. Engage students in analyzing news reports, social media, and advertisements to identify underlying assumptions, evaluate sources, and distinguish between knowledge, belief, and opinion. Practical exercise. Create a workshop where students bring examples of information from media and apply epistemological analysis to assess its credibility and the quality of evidence presented. Cultivating epistemological skills. Problem solving and epistemological reflection. Scenario-based learning. Develop complex scenarios that require students to apply various epistemological principles to navigate and solve problems. These scenarios can range from ethical dilemmas to theoretical puzzles that challenge students to justify their solutions based on different knowledge sources. Reflection. After each scenario, facilitate a debriefing session where students reflect on their thought process, the epistemological challenges encountered, and how they navigated these challenges. Developing philosophical argumentation skills. Debate club. Organize debates on epistemological issues, encouraging students to defend their positions using coherent arguments, evidence, and critical analysis. Topics can include the nature of belief, the possibility of absolute certainty, or the impact of cultural context on knowledge. Workshop on argumentation. Offer workshops focusing on building logical arguments, identifying fallacies, and effectively communicating complex ideas. These skills are essential for engaging in philosophical inquiry and for a wide range of professional and academic contexts. Leveraging technology for epistemological inquiry. Virtual reality, VR, and simulation. VR experiences. Use virtual reality to simulate environments or historical events, allowing students to explore and interrogate sources of knowledge and perspectives that differ from their own. This immersive technology can help students understand the context-dependent nature of knowledge. Simulation exercises. Implement simulations that challenge students to make decisions based on incomplete or conflicting information, reflecting real-world complexities where knowledge is often provisional and subject to revision. Online forums and collaborative platforms. Digital discussions. create online forums where students can post reflections, debate ideas, and engage with a broader community on epistemological questions. This facilitates ongoing dialogue outside the classroom and exposes students to a diversity of perspectives. Collaborative research projects utilize cloud-based platforms for students to collaboratively work on research projects, allowing for real-time collaboration, peer review, and collective knowledge building. Projects can focus on investigating epistemological issues in contemporary society or historical case studies. Concluding reflections and forward-looking engagement. As the module concludes, it's crucial to circle back to the importance of epistemology not just as an academic pursuit but as a practical toolkit for navigating a world inundated with information of varying reliability. Final reflection. Organize a session where students present how their understanding of knowledge and epistemology has evolved through the course. Encourage them to discuss how they might apply these insights in their personal and professional lives. Connecting to future learning. Preview upcoming modules or courses that build on the epistemological foundations laid here. Highlight how these concepts will be relevant in areas such as ethics, metaphysics, and the philosophy of science. This course structure aims to provide students with a robust understanding of epistemology, equipped with the critical thinking and analytical skills necessary to apply this knowledge thoughtfully and effectively across various domains of their lives. Through a combination of theoretical exploration, practical application, and reflective practice, students are prepared to engage deeply with the world around them, equipped with a philosophical lens that sharpens their interpretation and understanding of knowledge in all its forms. Shifting focus to Module 2, The Foundations of Knowledge, we'll distill the essence of epistemological exploration into a concise, yet comprehensive exploration of how knowledge is structured, acquired, and justified. This module aims to build upon the introductory concepts from Module 1, diving deeper into the mechanisms and debates surrounding the nature of knowledge, truth, and belief. Module 2, The Foundations of Knowledge. Theories of truth. Correspondence theory, truth as a relation between thoughts and reality. How to engage, analyze statements by comparing them to empirical evidence or established facts. Coherence theory, truth as consistency within a set of beliefs. Application, evaluate the coherence of belief systems through discussions or written reflections on a chosen topic. Pragmatic theory, truth as what is practically efficacious. Exploration, identify pragmatic truths in case studies from technology or social sciences. Sources of knowledge. Empiricism, knowledge from sensory experience. Activity, conduct experiments or observations and document findings. Rationalism, knowledge from reasoning and intellect. Exercise, solve logical puzzles or engage in deductive reasoning tasks. Testimony, knowledge from others. Discussion, share and critique personal experiences or historical examples where knowledge was gained through testimony. Justification and belief. Justified true belief, JTB, a classical theory where knowledge requires justification, truth, and belief. Exploration, present scenarios for group analysis to identify if a claim meets the JTB criteria. Gettier problems, challenges to the JTB model showing cases where JTB exists without knowledge. Activity, create and share Gettier problem examples, discussing their implications. Activities and assessments. Analytical essays. Write essays critiquing a theory of truth or analyzing a source of knowledge, using examples to support arguments. Case study analysis. Analyze a historical or contemporary event through the lens of different sources of knowledge and theories of truth. Philosophical dialogues. Engage in or write dialogues between proponents of empiricism and rationalism, debating the merits and limitations of each. Practical application. Empirical observation projects. Design and carry out simple experiments or observational studies to derive knowledge empirically. Rational thought experiments. Conduct thought experiments or logical analyses to explore rationalist perspectives on knowledge acquisition. Testimonial evidence evaluation. Critically assess the reliability of testimonial sources in media reports or historical documents. Integration and reflection. Group presentations. Summarize findings from empirical, rational, and testimonial exercises, reflecting on the diversity of knowledge sources. Reflection papers. Reflect on how understanding different theories of truth and sources of knowledge affects personal beliefs and knowledge claims. By condensing the exploration of knowledge's foundations into focused activities, discussions, and reflections, Module 2 aims to equip students with a nuanced understanding of how knowledge is formed, justified, and challenged. This approach encourages active engagement with epistemological concepts, fostering a deeper appreciation for the complexity of knowing in both academic and everyday contexts. Continuing with the concise and applied focus, let's move on to Module 3, Types and Limits of Knowledge. This module delves into the distinctions between different kinds of knowledge and confronts the challenges and limitations inherent in our pursuit of understanding. Each concept is paired with practical activities and reflective exercises to deepen comprehension and application. Module 3, Types and Limits of Knowledge. A priori versus a posteriori knowledge. A priori knowledge, knowledge justified independently of experience. Activity. Identify examples of a priori knowledge, such as mathematical truths, and discuss their universality. A posteriori knowledge, knowledge justified through experience. Exercise. Explore a posteriori knowledge through empirical research or personal observation projects. Analytic versus synthetic knowledge. Analytic knowledge, truths known by virtue of meanings and not dependent on facts. Discussion. Analyze linguistic or logical statements to separate analytic from synthetic knowledge. Synthetic knowledge, knowledge that adds to our understanding of the world, requiring empirical verification. Application. Examine scientific theories or historical events as instances of synthetic knowledge. Skepticism and relativism. Skepticism, the view that certain or all knowledge is uncertain. Debate. Host a debate on skepticism's merits and its challenges to knowledge acquisition. Relativism, the idea that truth and knowledge are not absolute but depend on cultural, societal, or personal perspectives. Reflection. Write reflections on relativism's implications for understanding truth and knowledge across different cultures. Fallibilism. Fallibilism, the principle that human knowledge is inherently fallible and subject to revision. Discussion. Discuss historical examples where widely accepted knowledge was later revised or rejected. Activities and assessments. Comparative essays. Write essays comparing a priori and a posteriori knowledge, or analytic and synthetic knowledge, using examples from science, mathematics, or philosophy. Scenario analysis. Analyze scenarios or case studies that challenge students to apply concepts of skepticism, relativism, and fallibilism to real-world or theoretical situations. Group projects. Create projects where students explore and present on the impact of relativism in different areas of knowledge, such as ethics, science, or art. Practical application. Empirical versus rational knowledge exploration. Design activities that require students to distinguish between empirical observations and rational deductions in various contexts, highlighting the different paths to knowledge. Critical media literacy workshop. Conduct workshops focused on evaluating information sources with a skeptical and relativistic lens, fostering skills in critical thinking and media literacy. Philosophy in everyday life. Encourage students to document instances where they encounter philosophical skepticism or fallibilism in daily life, reflecting on how these encounters impact their belief systems. Integration and reflection. Reflective journals. Maintain a journal throughout the module where students record their evolving understanding of the types and limits of knowledge, noting moments of skepticism or realization. Synthesis presentation. At the module's end, students synthesize their learning in a presentation, exploring how the types and limits of knowledge influence personal and societal understandings of truth. Module 3 aims to challenge students to critically engage with complex concepts of knowledge, understanding its forms and limitations. Through a blend of theoretical exploration and practical application, students are encouraged to reflect on their assumptions and beliefs, fostering a deeper appreciation for the nuanced landscape of human knowledge. Building on the foundation of understanding knowledge's types and limits, Module 4, Epistemology in Education focuses on the implications of epistemological theories for teaching and learning processes. This module integrates epistemological concepts with educational practices, emphasizing critical thinking, knowledge construction, and the development of epistemological beliefs. It aims to provide educators and students alike with insights into how epistemology shapes educational experiences. Module 4, Epistemology in Education. Constructivism and Educational Theories. Constructivism, the theory that learners construct knowledge through their experiences and interactions. Activity, implement teaching strategies that encourage active learning and knowledge construction, such as project-based learning or problem-solving tasks. Educational theories overview, explore different educational theories, for example, behaviorism, constructivism, social learning, and their epistemological foundations. Discussion, facilitate discussions on how these theories influence teaching methods and learner engagement. Critical thinking and knowledge development. Critical thinking, the ability to analyze information objectively and make a reasoned judgment. Workshop, design workshops that enhance critical thinking skills, focusing on argument analysis, evidence evaluation, and logical reasoning. Knowledge development, understanding how knowledge is created, structured, and changed. Exercise, create exercises that help students understand the process of knowledge development, including hypothesis formation, testing, and revision. The impact of epistemology on teaching and learning. Epistemological beliefs, individuals' beliefs about the nature of knowledge and learning. Survey, conduct a survey to explore students' epistemological beliefs and discuss how these beliefs might influence their learning strategies and academic performance. Application in classroom settings. Discuss the application of epistemological principles in designing curriculum and instructional strategies that foster deep, meaningful learning. Practical application. Develop lesson plans that incorporate epistemological considerations, such as encouraging inquiry, supporting evidence-based reasoning, and acknowledging multiple perspectives. Activities and assessments. Reflective essays. Assign essays where students reflect on their own learning processes in light of epistemological concepts, analyzing how their understanding of knowledge has evolved. Epistemological beliefs presentation. Students prepare presentations on their epistemological beliefs and how these beliefs influence their approach to learning and information processing. Educational theory debate. Organize debates on the implications of different educational theories for classroom practice, encouraging participants to draw on epistemological arguments. Practical application. Inquiry-based learning projects. Design and implement inquiry-based learning projects that require students to apply epistemological concepts to investigate questions or solve problems in real-world contexts. Collaborative learning sessions. Facilitate collaborative learning sessions where students engage in discussions and activities that challenge their epistemological assumptions, promoting the development of a more sophisticated understanding of knowledge. Case studies in educational epistemology. Analyze case studies of educational practices from an epistemological perspective, examining how different approaches to teaching and learning reflect underlying beliefs about knowledge. Integration and reflection. Portfolio compilation. Encourage students to compile a portfolio of their work throughout the module, including essays, project reports, and reflections on their learning experiences. Final reflection session. Conduct a session where students share insights from their portfolios, reflecting on how their engagement with epistemological concepts has influenced their perspectives on learning and knowledge. Module 4 aims to bridge the gap between epistemological theory and educational practice, providing students and educators with the tools to critically examine and enhance the learning process. Through a combination of theoretical exploration, practical application, and reflective practice, participants are encouraged to consider how their beliefs about knowledge shape their approaches to teaching and learning, fostering an environment of inquiry and intellectual growth. Proceeding with the educational journey, Module 5, From Data to Wisdom explores the progression from raw data to wisdom, emphasizing the transformation of information into knowledge and ultimately into wisdom. This module addresses the significance of understanding and navigating this progression in the digital age, where data is abundant but wisdom is scarce. It aims to equip students with the skills to critically assess and utilize information, fostering a deeper understanding of knowledge management and the value of wisdom in decision-making. Module 5, From Data to Wisdom. Data, Information, Knowledge, Wisdom Hierarchy, DIC. DIC hierarchy introduces the hierarchy from data, raw facts, to information, processed data, knowledge, applied information, and wisdom, evaluated knowledge. Activity. Analyze a case study or a current event to trace how data transforms into wisdom in a particular scenario. Understanding each stage. Detailed exploration of the characteristics and significance of each stage in the DIC hierarchy. Exercise. Group activities where students categorize examples into data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. Knowledge management. Definition and importance. Knowledge management is the process of creating, sharing, using, and managing the knowledge and information of an organization. Discussion. Discuss the role of knowledge management in businesses and other organizations, focusing on case studies of successful knowledge management practices. Strategies and tools. Explore strategies for effective knowledge management, including technology solutions like databases and knowledge bases, and human-oriented strategies like communities of practice. Practical application. Develop a mock knowledge management plan for an organization, identifying key knowledge assets, potential strategies for knowledge sharing, and tools to facilitate the process. The role of information science. Information science, the study of how information is collected, organized, stored, retrieved, and used. Lecture. Provide an overview of information science and its relevance to managing knowledge in the digital age. Application in various fields. Examine how information science principles apply to different disciplines, such as healthcare, education, and business. Project, assign projects where students apply information science principles to organize and manage information for a specific purpose or within a particular field. Activities and assessments. Reflective journals. Maintain a journal documenting the journey from encountering raw data to forming insights that could be considered wisdom, including personal or observed examples. Knowledge management system design. Design a simple knowledge management system for an organization or community, including strategies for capturing, storing, sharing, and applying knowledge. Information science case studies. Analyze case studies that illustrate the application of information science in various contexts, identifying key challenges and solutions. Practical application. Data analysis projects. Engage in projects that require the analysis of raw data sets to extract meaningful information, applying statistical tools and software. Wisdom circles. Organize wisdom circles where students share knowledge and insights on a chosen topic, practicing the synthesis of information into wisdom. Information organization challenge. Create a challenge where students must organize a large set of information into a coherent structure that makes the information accessible and useful. Integration and reflection. Portfolio review. Students review their portfolios, highlighting examples of their work that demonstrate the DIC progression. Reflective discussion. Facilitate a discussion on the importance of moving beyond knowledge to wisdom, especially in the context of leadership, ethics, and societal contribution. Module 5 not only elucidates the pathway from data to wisdom but also emphasizes the practical skills needed to manage knowledge and make wise decisions in an information-saturated world. Through this exploration, students are encouraged to appreciate the value of wisdom in navigating complex issues, leading to more informed, ethical, and impactful actions in their personal and professional lives. As we move forward in our epistemological exploration, Module 6, Spirituality, Wisdom, and Transcendence in Knowledge delves into the intersections of knowledge with deeper dimensions of human experience. This module aims to explore how spiritual beliefs and practices influence our understanding of knowledge, the pursuit of wisdom, and the experience of transcendence. It offers a platform to understand how various philosophical and spiritual traditions conceive of wisdom and its role in human life. Module 6, Spirituality, Wisdom, and Transcendence in Knowledge. Knowledge and spirituality. Interconnection. Introduce the concept that knowledge and spirituality are not mutually exclusive but can inform and enrich each other. Discussion. Explore different spiritual traditions' views on knowledge and wisdom. Personal reflections. Encourage students to reflect on and share their spiritual beliefs and how these beliefs influence their pursuit of knowledge and understanding. Wisdom in philosophical and spiritual traditions. Wisdom across cultures. Examine the concept of wisdom in various philosophical and spiritual traditions, highlighting similarities and differences. Activity. Research and present findings on wisdom in a chosen tradition. The role of wisdom. Discuss the role of wisdom in leading a fulfilled life, making ethical decisions, and contributing to society. Group discussions. Share insights and debate the practical implications of wisdom today. Transcendence and knowledge. Transcendence defined. Define transcendence as going beyond ordinary limits and the pursuit of knowledge that leads to a deeper understanding of the self and the universe. Lecture. Offer insights into how transcendence can be experienced through deep intellectual and spiritual exploration. Meditative practices and transcendental experiences. Introduce meditative practices from various traditions as tools for transcending ordinary states of consciousness and achieving deeper insights. Workshop. conduct a guided meditation session or invite a guest speaker to demonstrate meditative practices. Activities and assessments. Comparative essays. Write essays comparing the views on wisdom and transcendence across different spiritual and philosophical traditions, analyzing their relevance in contemporary society. Reflective journals. Keep a journal documenting personal experiences with spirituality, wisdom, and moments of transcendence, including any meditative practices and their effects. Presentation on spiritual traditions. Prepare presentations on how different spiritual traditions approach the relationship between knowledge, wisdom, and transcendence, focusing on specific practices or teachings. Practical application. Wisdom and ethical decision-making. Engage in role-play scenarios or case studies where wisdom and ethical considerations are applied to solve complex problems or make difficult decisions. Spiritual practices and knowledge integration. Practice and document a series of spiritual or meditative practices aimed at enhancing personal growth, wisdom, and transcendence. Reflect on how these practices impact the pursuit of knowledge. Interdisciplinary projects. Create projects that integrate concepts from epistemology, spirituality, and ethics, demonstrating how these disciplines can inform and enhance each other in addressing real-world issues. Integration and reflection. Community wisdom sharing. Organize a community event or online forum where students and members of the wider community share stories and insights related to wisdom and transcendence. Final reflection paper. Write a comprehensive reflection on how the exploration of spirituality, wisdom, and transcendence has influenced personal epistemological beliefs and practices. Module 6 encourages a holistic view of knowledge, inviting students to explore the depths of wisdom and transcendence that lie beyond mere intellectual understanding. This module aims to broaden perspectives, deepen connections between knowledge and spirituality, and foster a comprehensive understanding of the human quest for meaning and truth. Through this exploration, students are equipped to approach life's challenges with deeper insight and a more integrated sense of purpose.